Hey everyone, it's Zen here, welcome. If you've just started playing BeamNG and don't really know the basics, don't worry, I've got you. In this quick beginner guide, I'll walk you through everything step by step so you can start driving and enjoying the game right away. The first thing you'll notice when you hit play through Steam are these two options, Launch and Launch Vulkan. Now quick heads up, Vulkan is basically another way the game can run, sometimes smoother depending on your PC. But if you're new, just stick with regular launch. That's what I'm using here. So once you're in, you'll land on the screen with a bunch of options. Quick start experiences, Freeroam, repository, credits, options, and of course the legendary equip button, but we're not touching that yet. Here you'll see all the maps that come by default with the game. And yep, you can actually install tons of other maps too, but let's not get carried away yet. So when you pick a map, you'll also notice it gives you different spawn locations within that map. Basically, you can choose where your car shows up. Pretty handy, right? You can go with any map you like, but for now, I'm sticking with the classic grid map. Nice and simple. I'll just spawn at the last spot I used. Nothing fancy, but perfect for getting started. Now, the loading might take a little time, or it might be super quick. It really depends on your PC. BeamNG is pretty hardware intensive, so if it takes a while, that's totally normal. Nothing to worry about. So the first thing you'll probably notice is that the game doesn't use BeamNG.drive. It actually uses the arrow keys by default. Kinda old school, but it works. Now, to look around your car, just hold down the right mouse button and move your mouse in the direction you want. That way you can check out your ride from any angle. Let me switch to the vehicle you'll most likely have by default when you first start the game. To do that, press Ctrl+E and then select the car from the list. By default, the Gabriel D series truck is selected. You can totally change your default later like I've done, but let's stick with this one for now and take it for a spin. Driving is pretty simple. Press the up arrow to go forward, left and right arrows to steer, and the down arrow to brake or reverse. And if you really need to stop quickly, just hit the spacebar for a hard brake. Basically, your truck will listen to you until it doesn't. Now, if you press Shift+C, you'll toggle the free camera mode. Basically, this lets you move around anywhere on the map without being stuck to your car. Super useful if you want to explore, get a cool angle, or maybe snap some screenshots. You can literally fly around the world and check things out from any perspective, or even follow the chaos up close when you inevitably crash. Alright, if you hit Shift+C again, it takes you back to the regular vehicle camera. So let's drive around a little. Okay, looks like I'm not really getting anywhere. No worries, just press R to respawn your car at the last location. Now what if you want to respawn at a specific spot on the map? Easy. First switch to free camera with Shift+C, fly over to the spot you want, and then press F7. And boom, your car spawns right there. Of course, if you spawn it too high in the air like I just did, well, it's going to land hard. That's fine, just press Insert to repair it. And if you spawn closer to the ground with free camera, you'll get a perfectly fresh ride with no damage. Oh, almost forgot to mention, BeamNG also has a built-in recorder. You might not see it right away if you're brand new, but it's super handy. You can record your gameplay, then replay it later from different angles, or even watch your crashes in glorious slow motion. Basically, endless ways to relive the chaos. Alright, let's check out the settings and menus. Press Escape, and you'll see a bunch of options pop up. First is the Map tab. I'm just messing around here, but basically you can spawn your vehicle at any location by picking it from the list on the left. Super handy if you don't feel like driving across the whole map. Next up is Mods. Under Mods Manager, you'll see everything you've installed. In my case, I've got a G-Wagon, a Koenigsegg Agera, and even a crash test dummy. Yeah, I had to. Managing them is super simple. Just hit the minus sign to disable and press it again to re-enable. Easy as that. Then we've got the repository. And trust me when I say, there are tons of mods here. Like you could lose hours scrolling through. Luckily, you can filter them by title, size, downloads, or even by type. For example, if you only want maps, just filter for maps and boom, no cars or props cluttering things up. The automation tab works pretty much the same way as the repository. You can add cars by pressing the plus button, and later enable or disable them whenever you want. Now let's move on to the Vehicles tab. Here you'll find tons of cars, trailers, and even props, and when I say tons, I mean it. Because each vehicle usually comes with a bunch of different variants. Same model but with different looks, engines, or performance tweaks. Next up is Vehicle Config. This is where you can really customize your ride. And when I say customize, I mean it. Everything from color to parts to performance can be changed here. For now, let's keep it simple and just change the color. If you go into the parts section, you can also mess with details like license plates. For example, I'll switch mine to a German plate design. Down in the corner, you can even type your own plate number or text if you want to get creative. And there are some other fun basics here too, like paint designs and glass tint. You can make your car as clean or shady as you like. But don't worry, I'll cover all the deeper settings in another video where we can go full detail on everything. Now let's hop over to the Environment tab. First thing here is time of day. You can literally pick anything, sunrise, noon, afternoon, sunset, night, or just fine-tune it like 1 hour before, 10 hours after, whatever you like. Let me quickly adjust it so it looks nice for recording. Next is the weather section. You've got cloud speed, and yeah, if you max this out, it looks absolutely wild, and honestly kinda ugly. Then you've got cloud cover. Crank it up and it will turn your map into a storm movie. And the last one here is fog density. My advice, don't go crazy with this. Even a little fog can completely change visibility. Like right here, my car just fell off. Totally my fault, but let's just blame the fog. Now onto the fun one, gravity settings. Zero gravity does exactly what it says. Earth feels like Earth. Moon, Mars, Sun, or whatever planet you pick will actually simulate that planet's gravity. Pretty amazing and super fun to mess around with. And finally, we've got photo mode. Basically, it's for snapping cinematic shots of your car. Think wallpapers, thumbnails, or just flexing your car mods. I'll cover all the settings here in a future video, because trust me, it's a whole thing on its own. If you've seen my previous video thumbnails, those super cinematic shots, yeah, I captured all of them right here in photo mode. Honestly, it makes your game look like a movie, but I won't go too deep into it right now. If you guys want, drop a comment and I'll make a full detailed video just about these settings. Next up, we've got UI apps. If you look on the right side of my screen, you'll notice this recorder running. I actually grabbed it straight from this menu. Super simple. Just press Add App and you'll see a list of features. You can add speedometers, timers, performance graphs, or in my case, the recorder. If you can't find what you need, just use the search bar. Quick and easy. And finally, we've got the Options tab, but I'll save that breakdown for later since it's pretty detailed. Before that though, let me show you a couple of quick tricks that might actually help you out. First, let's switch cars. Anyway, if your car gets destroyed, or even if it's perfectly fine but you just want to move it around, that's where nodes come in. Just press Ctrl plus left mouse click and hold, and boom, you can pull your car anywhere you like. Now, you'll notice something. It says middle click to couple both nodes. Don't worry, we'll cover that in another video. One more thing, the strength of your pull. While you're holding left click, use your mouse scroll wheel. Scroll down to reduce the strength so the pull force in newtons is lower, or scroll up to increase it. The effect depends on the weight of whatever you're pulling, light props versus heavy vehicles. Super handy once you get used to it. Now let's jump back to the Environment tab one more time. I'll set the scene to night so you can really see what's going on. Check this out. My car's headlights are on. That's made possible by pressing the N key. The first press will switch on the front lights, and if you press it again, it gets even brighter. Some vehicles only react to the first press, while others have that second brighter mode. So yeah, it depends from vehicle to vehicle. Super useful if you're recording at night or just messing around in the dark. Now let's go back in day. Now if you want to start your car like real life, you can press V button to on and off ignition. As you can see how I'm doing. Now let's move forward. You can press C button to change the camera. Like first you have this driver POV. Next time you'll press it will mount on the front bonnet. Then pressing C again and again will mount it on different places. It's simplest as that. Now let's finally go to Options tab. First of all you have Display, in which you can currently have I have full screen selected, and by the name you can tell what other two options, which are borderless and window, will do. Then Monitor, I'm currently only using one. Then Resolution, my monitor have 1920 by 1080, but you can change to any resolution your monitor supports. Then this refresh rate, you can select the pins on your monitor and hardware. I've currently 60 FPS. Control plus F, it will show your frames in the game. So here you can see I've currently limit my frames to maximum 75. As you can see manually I've selected 75. But if you, let's say, don't want to limit, you can unselect it, and here let me show you what will happen. I'm getting somewhere between 130 to 190-ish range, but I'll highly recommend you should be limiting your frame rate at certain frames, because any FPS beyond a certain number which is stable for you are not helping you and just eating and stressing your hardware for no reason. See, when you no limit, then the processor or GPU in the first second have to render 190 FPS. Alright, next up is the Graphics tab. This one's pretty straightforward. It controls the overall quality of the game. The higher you go, like Ultra settings, the more hardware it demands, and naturally your FPS will drop depending on your PC. If you lower the graphics, you'll get way more FPS. As you can see, mine shot up to around 600. But honestly, that's not worth it because the game looks like absolute trash on low settings. So yeah, I'm switching mine back to high. Moving on, the User Interface tab. Honestly, nothing here you really need to mess with. These settings don't add much to your experience, so it's fine to just leave them as they are. Next is language. And sure, you could change it to Spanish, but let's not confuse ourselves. Then we've got audio. Nothing special here, everything's self-explanatory. After that is controls, where you can view every key binding and even set your own custom ones. Useful if you want something specific, but we'll skip that for now. Then the gameplay tab, again, not much worth diving into at this stage. If you guys want, I can make a separate video breaking this down in detail, so just drop a comment if that's something you'd like. Next up is camera settings. Here you'll find all the camera-related options. Honestly, this could be its own video too, but there's one setting I really want to show you, the field of view modifier. If you lower its value, the camera zooms in closer to your car, which makes it look way more cinematic and detailed, really useful if you're planning to make videos in Beam. On the flip side, if you increase the value, the camera pulls back further and the game can look a bit less sharp overall. Alright, that's it for this beginner's guide. In the next video, I'll show you how to add a driver dummy into your car. Maybe even a passenger or two in the back. I'll also go over how to take your game from looking basic like this to full-on cinematic quality. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure you hit subscribe, drop a like if this helped you out, and leave a comment with what you'd like me to cover next.